Okay, we are recording. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us this morning as we premiere our new Gift of Ogunquit program. So joining us is Donna Nowitzki. She is the CEO of Gifty, which is our provider for the gift card program. And I'm just going to have everybody introduce themselves. I'll call out your name. And like I said, if you want to leave your camera off, you can, but just unmute yourself and introduce yourself and say what business you represent so Donna has an idea of who she's speaking with. So first up on my screen is Kate Tweedy.
Oh, wait, you're muted.
You're muted, Kate.
Hi, I'm at Sea Chambers and Studio East Motels.
Okay, and next up, Katie Keene.
Hi, I'm Katie Keene with the Dunes on the Waterfront.
David.
Hi, it's David Lusignan and Charles Miller from the Dragonfly Guest House.
So far we have 3 lodging properties. Okay, next up is Travis. Travis, if you want to unmute yourself and say hello. Okay, well, I'm not sure who Travis is, so hopefully Travis will join us in a minute. Eric. Okay, Eric, I think is Eric Taubert with the Hartwell House, but I'm not sure because he just has his first name there. And then we've got Rick. Go ahead, Rick. Do you want to unmute yourself and just say hello? Okay, and Rick is with Kiki's, which is a retail store down in Perkins Cove. So with that, I will keep an eye on the waiting room and let people in as they come in, and I'll turn this over to Donna.
Okay, great. So hi, everybody. I'm glad to be here and thank you for having me. And I'm super excited to work with you guys. I'm the CEO and one of the co-founders of Gifty. And it's been an exciting last year for us. The company's been around for a long time. We launched in December of 2012, and we've been serving local shops and restaurants, local businesses with digital gift cards since then. But about 3 years ago, we started doing these community cards, and we discovered that that was something that the world needs and nobody else was doing. So we've been really focused on this. And as Alice and Dawn have probably told you, the community card, it's a digital gift card and it's backed by MasterCard. So you redeem them as MasterCards, but they're limited to be used only at the shops and restaurants and hotels and local businesses in your town. So Dawn and Alice manage the program, and they have invited you to participate and others in the town, and I'll give you a quick overview of how it works. Does anybody have any specific questions you want to get on the table before I just grab the screen here and dive in? No? Okay, good. Then I will grab the screen. Oh, Alice, can you?
I gotta enable screen sharing. Hold on.
Yeah.
Okay, good. You're all set.
There we go. Okay, so it looks like you guys have done a great job setting it up already. So I see your images here. So this is the page, the web page that people come to buy the Ogunquit gift card. And we can probably do a little bit of work on the formatting there. So happy to work with you on that.
Okay, good.
Yeah, but basically all our communities have a page like this and their own link, and you put a link on your websites. Hopefully some of you businesses can put this link on your websites too and say buy our Ogunquit community website or gift card. And then people would click on those buttons and come to this page here. And when they come to this page here, they see, of course, your branding, your card, and a little bit about how it works. And then there's a map that is not filled out yet because we haven't launched this in town yet. And I'll show you what that looks like when you all are on board. And then the card buyers can go down here and have some FAQs. And then the last couple sections here are, if there are new businesses in town that want to participate, they can apply to join, and we'll send them to Alice. And if someone wants to do a bulk purchase here, this give back to your community, we're seeing a lot of hospitals buying community cards and giving them to their essential workers, and schools giving them to teachers, and just companies that are nearby giving them to employees now these days to welcome them back to the office. Hooray. So if they're if they buy more than $1,000 worth of cards, we can give them a discount on the fees. So fees wise, there's no cost to the community to set up this program and no cost to you to participate. So this is how Yifty makes ends meet, is this e-delivery fee right here. When someone buys a card, they're going to pay a little bit more, and that covers the processing cost on this transaction and our cost to run our business. So, and if they are buying a bulk order, then we can reduce this. The formula for this is $1.05. So if it's $50, it's $3.50. If it's $100, it's $6. If they pay us with a check or ACH for a bulk purchase, the fee will be 50 cents and 3%. So we can save them some money on processing fees there. So anyway, if someone is going to buy this card, they would click the buy a gift card button and go to this screen here and put in the recipient's name and their email and or phone number, or they can print them for hand delivery. So we don't do plastic cards. There's no plastic with this program. But if somebody needs something physical, say they're going to a birthday party or something, they just check the print box, and then we'll send them a PDF and they can print that out at home and take it to the birthday party. So the bulk orders I mentioned could be done right here. You could get up to 99 cards at once. And it's not really limited to 99. You could do this 5 times if you wanted. So, and then the next screen is write a message like happy birthday. Let's support our local businesses. You can schedule them for delivery, or you can just let it go as when you buy it. And then in the last screen, Yifty will process the payment. They're going to usually pay with a credit card. We process that transaction and we protect you from the fraudsters. Unfortunately, there are bad guys with stolen credit cards that like to buy digital gift cards. And since we've been doing this since 2012, we're onto their tricks. So we screen them out. If something does get through, then we will take that loss. So when we issue the Ogunquit card, it's guaranteed to be good. You don't have to worry about fraud in your stores. The card is backed by Yifty. We have the money to back it up. And if something happens and we get a charge back, which rarely happens, we take that loss. So that's how people give gifts. And then a quick preview. Well, I'll go there later. Let me show you what they look like. Let's see. There we go. Okay. All righty. So if this gift was sent by text, the recipient, and you can send them to yourself or you could send them to someone else. So people often buy them for themselves. But so you could send it to yourself or someone else. You have a text or an email or a print. I'll show you that one too. And then they would open that up and it says, this one says a secret admirer has sent you a downtown Dayton gift card. It usually says the name of the sender, but I was sending this to myself, so I wrote that. The recipient would click on that link and then they see your custom branded card here. So this will be the Ogunquit branded card, the message from the sender, their name, the value of the card, and they could click, they could scroll down and see what merchants are participating in the program. And then when they're ready to redeem it, they click this view gift voucher bar and they get this screen on the right. This is kind of the technology magic that we have. So we have a partnership with MasterCard that allows us to issue unique digital MasterCards for every single gift all over the country. And this gift is tied just to your community. But it's a multi-use card. So if I was in Dayton, Ohio, where this is from, I could take my phone with this image on it into a participating coffee shop and show my phone with this image to the barista there, and she would key in this card number, expiration, and CVV like a phone order. and MasterCard is immediately going to come back and authorize the transaction like they always do. And then it's going to change the balance on this card for whatever my purchase was in that store. And it'll just go through in their normal nightly settlement. MasterCard will pay you just like it does for all the other, your MasterCard bank, for all the other MasterCard or Visa transactions that you did that day. So that's how it settles. You do pay, unfortunately, a card not present transaction fee on that because it's a manual entry, which my understanding is about 0.5% higher than your normal credit card processing fee. But that's just how MasterCard works. We don't have any control over that. But fortunately, that's all you're paying. Other than that, you're going to get the full value of that transaction in your businesses. So let's see, this is what the printed ones look like. So it'll have your MasterCard image here with the card number, expiration, and CVV, and it's processed identically, whether it's digital or print. The only difference is on the digital one, the balance is always going to be current, whatever you're looking at on someone's phone, unless it's a photograph of it. But on this print one, they might have spent something on the card before. And if you try to ring up more than the value on this card, the actual dollars on the card, it will decline the card because it's a prepaid card. So it's not broken. You just need to go back and tell it, a value that's less than or equal to the amount of money on the card. Just run that transaction again. If you need to get a current balance, like on a print one like this, I don't know if you can see this in very small in orange here, is a little URL that'll take you straight to the actual balance on this particular card. Alternatively, you can go to yifty.com and there's a link there that says check balance at the top, and you can put in the card number and it will tell you the actual balance at that moment. So that's just something to be aware of. If it declines, if you get a decline, the most common reasons for that are try to charge more than the money on the card. Another thing that happens is I'll show you how you activate your, how you onboard yourself. But you may have different POSs with different identifiers. And so I'll talk about that. But while I'm on this page, you can see here it says do not use voucher for tips. To explain that a little bit, what happens, so say I go have lunch in Dayton with this card and my lunch is $22 and the server takes this and MasterCard authorizes the transaction for $22 just fine. They bring it back to the table and I add a $5 tip, right? So then when you try to close out that night, you're going to try to charge $27 on a $25 card and it's going to decline. So that's awkward. So that's why we recommend don't allow tipping on the voucher. If you authorize the tip with the bill, you'll be fine if you do that up front, just to make sure that the full amount, including the tip, is covered with the actual money on this card. The other gotcha is e-commerce. I don't know if any of you are selling on e-commerce sites, but e-commerce sites will see this card the same as any other MasterCard prepaid card. And so if the value of your shopping cart is less than or equal to the amount of money on the card, it'll go through just fine. Shopping cart, the e-commerce engine doesn't know the difference. However, if your shopping cart adds up to $27 and you have 25 on the card, it's going to decline. And e-commerce engines don't know how to do split tender transactions like people do. So it'll just decline and the customer won't know why. So we send them an email message that will tell them why whenever we can, but we can't always do that and they probably won't get it in the moment. So we do the best we can sharing, what's going on with people, but I just like to let you know that in case anything comes back to you. What else? Any questions about buying gifts or the gift, what people get or redeeming them? Okay, we good? So I'll show you now. Just pipe in if you have questions. Please don't hesitate to interrupt me. I'll show you now how you get activated. Okay, so this, what you're looking at on my screen now, is the management portal that Alice and team use to manage the program. You as merchants don't have to log into this. There's nothing you have to log into or do other than what I'm about to show you. So this is for back in Mason, Ohio, and they have loaded in a bunch of merchants here. And usually they do this with a spreadsheet. Is that your intent, Alice? Will you preload the merchants, or do you want them to self-sign up?
We'll have to talk about that internally. I'll have to talk with Dawn and Tori, but maybe we can talk with you offline after we're done.
Okay.
Kind of just get an idea of the different options.
I think you mentioned before you had a number of merchants that already were interested in participating. So the easiest thing to do is just put the name, address, and contact info on a spreadsheet, and then you can do it all in one fell swoop, upload them here. And you'll have a list like this. And you see how these here say live, but this guy, Mason Bull, says need to run activation card. So when you first load them in, they'll all say need to run activation card. So you guys who are on this call all know about this program. Alice has already told you, but what we'll do as soon as she uploads the participants is we will email you an activation card. And that looks like this. So it's a prepaid MasterCard with 10 cents on it, prepaid, big bucks here. And you're going to get that in your email. It will have the name of your business here. These cards are unique to each business. You would key in the card number, expiration, and CVV. You're going to get the dime, and we're going to get your POS information and merchant ID. And that is how we build a closed network on the open MasterCard network. So only merchants where we have that, who have done this, this is you opting into the program. If you don't ever do this, then you don't show up on the map, you don't show up on the printed list, you can't redeem cards, you're not participating in the program. So that's how we screen out the non-Ogunquit authorized businesses. So if someone takes your community card and says, oh, look, it's a MasterCard, I'm going to just buy something on Amazon, which we see all the time. People try to do that. It's going to reject because because Amazon has not been invited to participate. So that makes us really happy when that happens, because people have to shop local. So anyway, if you can't process a 10-cent transaction, process it for whatever your minimum is, $1 or $10 or $1 million. It's not going to go through. It's going to be declined. But in that decline, we get the information we need, and you'll be on board just fine. So if it declines, that's fine. That's a good sign. Or you'll get a dime. So that's how you onboard. And then I mentioned if you have e-commerce sites, or sometimes businesses have more than one point of sale. That's fine. If you want your business, say you have a hotel that has a restaurant and you want to be listed, the restaurant to be listed separately. In that case, you can sign them up as 2 different merchants and get 2 different activation cards and run one at each business. If you have a business that has multiple point of sales, if those POSs have different identifiers, then you'll need to run an activation card on each of them. So just keep that in mind. Alice, you can send them as many activation cards as they need for any business. It's a piece of cake. So that's how, and if you are going to use it on online on an e-commerce site, make sure you run an activation card to register your e-commerce POS, or your e-commerce site. Because basically we have to know that information. Question?
Yes, for the multiple points of sale, I have 3 computers that all go to the same server. Do you know if that's considered 1 or 3?
It's probably 1.
Okay.
If all we're looking for is the merchant ID and POS identifiers, if they're the same, then it's probably 1. If you do get, if you register only 1 and then you get a decline on the other, usually our system is smart enough to match, things when the name is close. but not always. So that is one of, as I was telling you before, I'll tell you the reasons, what the problems people have, the gotchas. So if you get declines and you're not trying to charge more than the amount of the purchase, it could be because that POS has a different identifier. So run an activation card. Let's see. So that's kind of the big, what you need to know. I mean, this is kind of fun. Alice and team will have a report of where all the redemptions are, and they can send you this information. So this is our gifts redeemed report. Oh my gosh, it's April Fool's. Happy April Fool's, everybody. This is not an April Fool. This is a real. Another question? No, okay. So this is the kind of information that Alice and team have on the back end, and they'll probably share it with you. But you can see in Mason here, somebody went to Cocoon Coffee for breakfast this morning. And last night, people ate a lot of pizza with Mason cards, or Indian food, or empanadas, beer, right? So where there's visibility of all the transactions in your store. And I'm sure Alice and team will share this with you, but you'll only see the transactions in your store. So we won't share everybody else's data with, all the merchants, but you'll see your view and how many transactions, which is helpful because sometimes as merchants, if one of your employees processed a card, you may not even realize how much business you got from this card. I had a merchant a couple of weeks ago want to get out of the program. And we looked him up and said, why? You've redeemed 54 cards in your store and everything looks great. And he had no idea. So anyway, so it's helpful to share this information because otherwise you may not even realize. So that's the quick overview and what you need to know as a business.
Donna, this is David. Maybe Alice or Donna can answer this question. How do customers know that, for instance, the Dragonfly is part of that program? How does that show up, and how do they know that we accept that card, that they can go to us and use that card?
So on this web page, there will be a map like this that all the dots are filled in with as soon as you run your activation card, you show up on this map and you show up on this list here. Here in Mason, there are 80 different merchants. You also show up on this printable list, and this list is accessible from the gift on their phone. So they can see all the participating merchants connected to the gift when they get it digitally. If someone is printing it out, then sometimes they'll print this page and give it to the recipient along with it. There's also a link on the printed one that says, check here for all the current participating merchants, because this list changes all the time as merchants are added. So that's one way, but I would recommend that you also do window clings for your cards so that you can put them in the windows of your stores. Maybe a little sign for point of purchase. We have templates for all that, but it's not about Yifty, it's about your brand. So you take our templates and put in your images and print them up locally and distribute them.
Thank you.
And we're open to more ideas too about, how can we help you get the word out? Other questions? Anything else, Alice, that you would like me to cover?
I think then our next step, Donna, would be to, in addition to the people that are on this call here, we've gotten quite a few calls from other businesses that saw the information in the newsletter but weren't able to attend to this presentation. But it sounds like our next step would be to, send some kind of summary out to people with a link to sign up.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. You can have, so by default, this on the bottom, if you want people to just self-sign up, this right here, apply to join, you can tell them to just go here, apply to join, put in their business information, submit this, and we'll then send them their own, by default, that's how it's configured, that it's a self-sign up. So you have that option as well. I would suggest the ones who have already spoken to you and said they're in, do the spreadsheet thing that I talked about, and then you can tell everybody else, just come here and self-sign up, unless they want to, talk to you about it. But then now they can watch this video.
Yeah, I think we're going to send out a standalone email with this recording and maybe this link for if they want to participate. So
Yeah.
Yeah, so that'll work out good. We
Hi,
want people to,
Katie,
you know.
the Dunes. I have a quick question.
Great.
Is there a fee to sign up, or is there a yearly membership that we have to pay for this?
Nothing. No,
Nothing.
no,
Okay.
I promise.
Okay.
The only thing you pay are the card not present MasterCard charges when you redeem the cards in your businesses.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Anybody else have any questions? I love your idea about the window clings, Donna.
Yeah, window clings are great because then as people are walking around, they can see them. The other thing I would just look for is a good way to get this program off the ground is if you have local employers that will give this to their employees for programs like employee rewards and anniversary gifts or welcome gifts for new employees, things like that. That is great for kind of generating traffic all year round. Of course, you sell a lot of cards at the holidays. That's our big season. December goes crazy around here. But if you can get businesses who adopt the program, the gift card business is about a third of the money spent on gift cards is spent by businesses. I mean, big ones, not retailers and restaurants and hotels, but big employers. And they, but it's all going to the top 300 national brands. And this is a way that they can keep their local dollars in the local businesses in their communities. So usually they're spending the same money to buy Amazon cards and Starbucks cards. They might as well buy yours. So that's kind of one of our big missions this year, is to help our communities get those corporate buyers, or city governments, schools, hospitals, as I was saying before.
We've had, I had a conversation with a local realtor who wants to buy a bunch, and every time someone closes on a house to make it
Perfect.
welcome to the community package.
Yeah, that's great.
So any other questions, folks?
Oh, sorry.
Don, did you have a question?
No, not a question, more of just a statement that, we'll be able to market this pretty heavily too. So the businesses that do participate, they're going to be getting a lot of exposure.
Yeah.
Marketing for this. So, so that's another added bonus, but yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have some things we're working on our end in engineering to allow you to put sponsor logos on the site, so you can give them recognition for either, sometimes they'll even contribute. I'll show you this, to a bonus program like this. So this is in Tahoe in California. So there's a buy one, get one program where the sponsors are funding these get ones. And that sells a lot of cards because then there's extra goodies. So there's another thing you can do. I know you guys, I don't know if you have hard stops here at 11:30, but one more thing, something to think about. Here we go. So this is Fairfield, Connecticut coming up here that is running. So this, recognize the format now. There's a feature here that is usually kind of a phase 2 of a rollout called featured merchants and special offers. And this allows you as merchants to post special offers like use your card in my store and we'll give you, a 2-for-1 lattes after 3 o'clock or whatever, you can make it up. There's no special requirement. It doesn't have to break the bank, but it's a nice perk for card buyers, and then people will buy them for themselves because, for instance, I could take this to the Happy Hands Pottery and get 10% off using this card. So that's something you might want to think about for down the road once you get it rolled out.
I think that could be really useful, like, you know, even for businesses that do like, you know, off-season promotions, like Cornerstone Pizza was doing 2-for-1 pizzas on Wednesday and Thursday nights. They could use this vehicle to promote that.
Perfect. Yeah, perfect.
So it doesn't have to be specific to the card. They can just use it to promote anything they're doing, right?
For sure, right? They can do whatever. It's kind of your real estate. There's no teeth in this. It's not like they're gonna have a coupon that they have to exchange. They would just show this to show the gift to your cashiers, and they would give them the bonus. All righty.
Okay, any other
Oh.
questions, folks?
That was a lot of information. Hope it all made sense.
Yeah, very good. Thank you.
I hope I can get a chance. You know, it's my dream to be able to come visit beautiful places like Ogunquit, Maine, and stay in your hotels there. I went to school in Boston and was able to take a couple trips up to Maine. You live in a beautiful part of the country.
That's for sure.
Don, Tori, do you want Donna to hang out after
Yeah,
we conclude the meeting? I figured you might have some questions.
yeah, definitely.
Everyone, thank you for your involvement this morning.
Yeah.
We'll get back to you with next steps, but I am going to make sure I have all of you on our list because now we know you're all interested. So thank you for spending time with us this morning. It's good to see you all.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Yeah.
everybody.
Have a great afternoon.